Former Deputy National Security Advisor Katie McFarland posting a new Fox News opinion piece, and she writes Biden's incompetence could force us into another Middle East war, and how Iran wants to push the U.S. out of the Middle East and eliminate Israel. Frightening things. Joining me now is former Deputy National Security Advisor, American Conservative Union Board member, and author of Revolution, Trump, Washington, and We the People, our good friend Katie McFarland. My good friend, Katie, good morning. It's great to have you back.
It's terrific to be with you. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you. Let's talk about this because the Middle East is on the verge of, many worry, a war. And your position is that if things don't change now and we don't deal with Iran, that's where we're going. Expand on that.
Okay, but the way to deal with Iran is in two ways. One, through the proxies, because Iran is very cleverly not using Iranian military or Iranian Navy. They're using their proxies, the Houthis, for example, in Yemen to try to close off the Red Sea and to make it an Iranian lake. So when we respond, you want to do it to the Houthis and the people who are attacking us directly, but you also want to do it to Iran economically. And the way to do it is to enforce those sanctions. Now, the Trump administration has sanctions. Iran couldn't sell its oil. The other thing is that drive down the price of oil by allowing American energy to produce again. Not what Joe Biden just did, this week, where he said, no, we're going to ban liquefied natural gas exports. Come on. I mean, if you can shove the price of oil down, natural gas down, Iran's bankrupt. They can't even pay for their proxy forces to attack anybody. So that's the way to do it. You don't have to go to war with Iran. And what I worry about is that President Biden's, these sort of little kind of twiddly things that he's doing to punish the proxy forces are in fact going to lead to a bigger escalation, because at some point an American ship is going to be sunk, and then we're going to have mass casualties, and then we will be at a war, which we don't want.
I've seen other analyst commentary say the same exact thing. Once a boat is sunk, that is it, and this becomes a much broader issue that the Biden administration has to deal with. I want to ask you about this report, and basically officials confirming that the U.S. secretly warned Iran that the Islamic State was preparing to carry out the terrorist attack earlier this month that killed 84 Iranians in a pair of coordinated suicide bombings. Why would we warn them that we're coming for them? Explain this to me, Katie.
Okay, I can't figure it out. So our intelligence picked up that ISIS forces in Afghanistan were going to launch an attack against Iranian civilians in Iran. So we're the nice guys. We warned Iran. Iran didn't pay any attention. 84 people got killed in a bombing. And then the Iranians had the nerve to say that it must have been America behind the attacks. Look, why are we doing favors for our enemies and adversaries when we should, in fact, be doing just the opposite? We should be focusing our intelligence on why are those proxy forces attacking Americans and American allies throughout the Middle East, and then doing something about that.
I want to bring in James Freeman from the Wall Street Journal. He's on set here. Go ahead, James.
Hi, KT. I'm wondering what more we could do. You mentioned how effective those pre-Biden sanctions were. Iran saw a real problem in their economy with their currency. If you bring those back, and then are there other items on the menu on the economic end that we could be doing if the White House chose to?
Yeah, all right. So estimates are that Iran has probably gotten about $100 billion thanks to the Biden policies. So we have sanctions on Iran. We have a lot of sanctions on Iran's ability to sell oil. The Biden administration just refuses to enforce them. So they're letting Iran sell the oil. Number two, because the price of oil has doubled since it was in the Trump era, when we were producing American oil and natural gas, Iran has had a windfall of profits. The other thing is that we've had direct pay. The Biden administration has done direct payments to Iran. Now, we paid for hostage release. We also unfroze some funds. So Iran now has a $100 billion war chest to go and attack American interests and our allies' interests throughout the region. Shut that stuff down. But that'll take a while. What you could do immediately is go after the sites of where those missiles are being fired from in Yemen. Now, the Biden administration said, well, we attacked them. Well, when the dust settled, you realize they only attacked about 30%. Yeah. So they didn't degrade the ability of the Houthis to attack it. They just made them mad. And now they're continuing to ramp up their attacks against American and allied commercial and military shipping in the Red Sea.
Yeah, before you go, I just want to get your final thoughts on the state of play right now with Israel and Gaza.
Let Israel finish the job. Let them destroy Hamas. That's the only way you're going to stop the entire region from blowing up. And the way to solve it is not where the Biden administration says, okay, Israel, here's what you're going to do. You're going to have a two-state solution. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Have we not learned? Why don't we let the countries in the region who have to live with the situation, why don't we let them figure out what to do once Hamas is destroyed? Let the Arab countries be involved. Let Israel be involved. And let the United States kind of get out of the middle of that negotiation.
Yeah, but yet Secretary Blinken has made how many trips now over to Israel? I mean, I've actually lost count, to be clear here. So I agree with you, though. I think that's a great point. Katie McFarland, thank you. It's always good to see you.